What's up, family? You know who this is. This is TJ Lawrence, your new home consultant, trusted advisor, and Army veteran. All right, so going through this new process or going through this home buying process, the question is how much house can you really afford? And what are the costs? So today, I'm going to walk you through the process so you can see how much it is that you'll actually put into the home and how much things actually cost. So for the last year or so, I've been doing real estate as an agent, and the one thing that I hear the most about is how much can you really afford with the house? What are the actual payments that they have? So a few things that we have your fixed payments, and we also have your down payments. Now, there are some down payment assistance programs that are out there, and I'll explain that to you as well as best I can. So, the first thing, the fixed cost. All right. So, when you initially get under contract, the first thing that you will have is what we call earnest money deposit or EMD. So earnest money is basically good faith saying that you are serious about this home, you're serious about the lot, and you want to take it off the market. So here I work for a builder at Lennar. The earnest money can be different prices depending, but minimum earnest money deposit is $1,000. You heard it. That's right. $1,000 to take your home off the market. So if I find a home, I worked out the price, you're interested, you love it, this is the home, it's $1,000 earnest money. You put the sold sign, and then we officially go under contract. So that is the first step, earnest money. So once we finish with the earnest money, and then also I want you all to know when you put down that earnest money deposit, it's not saying that you're not going to get that money back just in case you back out of contract. Now, there are some stipulations that if you back out of contract because you had cold feet, you had buyer's remorse, which typically happens around 24 to 48 hours because you are feeling some type of way about buying this big purchase, we're not going to say we won't give you your earnest money back. We'll give your earnest money back to you. But as they say, when you have no skin in the game, you will not stay a part of the process. And the home journey is long, 30 days, 60 days, however long it's going to be. You will be stressed out. You will have some times where you want to quit. You will have some times where you want to give up. But that's where you can reach out to me, your trusted advisor. And if we're working with your agent as well, reach out to your agent. We will walk you through this process. We will hold your hand step by step. All right. So the next thing is an inspection. So since I do work for a new construction builder, it's not recommended that you get an inspection because we have our quality assurance team and we go through line by line to get your house into the best condition that it can. However, we will not discourage you from getting an inspection if that's something you truly want. So, if you do want an inspection, we do not pay for the inspection. You'll have to pay for the inspection. Some inspections run between $400 to $600. That's just going to be depending on who you decide to work with. Now, if you work with an agent, they may have some inspectors that they can recommend for you. So, however much they decide to charge, that is something that you will have to pay. Now, all homes we have are with our quality assurance team. They walk through everything for you. They may be some minor things here and there buying your home. So if you feel an inspection is necessary, get an inspection. We don't hold it against you, and I don't really care. That is completely up to you. Once you finish the inspection, which is $400, so far we only have $1,400 that we've spent for a home. The next thing is the appraisal fee. Now, the appraisal fee, it runs different depending on the lenders. I can't tell you how much that'll actually be, but I've seen some reports where an appraisal fee is only $650. And that appraisal, which means whatever your home is worth, they're going to go back and make sure it's worth that. So at Lennar, let's say our home runs about 280 to $300,000. Well, let's say we sold you a house for 300. That appraisal report at the end is going to go back and verify that we actually sold you the home for $300,000. So we will not shortcut. And typically on some appraisals, if it comes back lower, they make the buyer come up with that. At Lennar, we do not do that. If we sold you a home at $300,000 and the appraiser came back and said it was worth 290, we will actually cover that for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So that is what your appraisal fee is. So we'll say appraisal fee $650. The next thing you'll be responsible for is, once we put you under contract, there is a $300 builder's fee. So that is something you will have to pay, but we as Lennar, we take care of that for you. So you don't have to worry about that $300 builder fee. The next thing you will be responsible for is your HOA fees. So once you go under contract, the first year, we take care of all HOA fees. So at Lennar, our HOA fees runs between $400 all the way up to, let's just say, $750, and that is annually. Some places HOA fees is way more than that, but for us, we don't charge that much for the HOA fees. We're only going to say $400 all the way up to $700, just rough estimate, and that's just depending on the neighborhood. Now, we do take care of that for you as well, added to your closing costs. So at Lennar, we take care of your HOA fees for your first year. You heard it. That's right. We take care of HOAs for you for the first year. Now, after that, you'll be responsible for your HOA fees. The next thing that is the kicker, that is something that people don't know that you have to have, is the closing costs. Now, closing costs is going to range depending on your home. So what I will do is I'm going to give you an estimate of what a typical closing cost could be at $300,000. And you can apply the same thing for other homes as well. So closing fee, literally, it is about 3% of the home. So 3%, we'll say $300,000. I'll take my calculator out here for you. So $300,000 times 3%, which is about $9,000. So at closing, depending on if you're with a new builder or if you're with resale markets, I'm not really familiar on a resale market. Their closing cost runs different. Ours with new builders is 3% of the home. However, we pay for all closing costs. So that is some of the perks when you're going to with a new construction, new home builder. Usually they have things that they're doing to help you with your process. We pay for your closing costs. So that's $9,000 that you don't have to worry about. So we'll put a big fat zero on closing costs. All right. So now those are some of your fixed things that are required as you get ready to buy a home. The next thing is down payment. All right. So now a lot of people are getting confused with down payment assistance programs. So let's just say you don't require a down payment assistant. And I'm not going to go into too many details about it because there are different programs that are out there. Credit is a big factor on that. Typically, you have to have between about a 620 to 640 credit score in order for you to qualify for some of those down payment assistance programs. But let's just say you've been saving for about a year or 2 years, a typical down payment is going to be 3.5%. So we'll pull out our fancy calculator again. $300,000 times 3.5% is about $10,500. So what does the down payment help with? Well, down payment helps you with getting your monthly mortgage where you want it to be. So when you pay that $10,500 down towards your home, that is going to help you get your payment where you want it at. All right. So if you don't pay for a down payment and you have to use down payment assistance, now your home is going to be worth a little bit more because you didn't take 10,000 and pay off that home. So now it's going to be a little bit higher. It could be $200 higher. It could be $100 higher. It could be $300 higher. It's going to be variable for you. So that is the only issue with these down payment assistance programs. Now, if you're in a situation where you absolutely need down payment assistance programs, there are programs out there for you. We can find the best one out here in Warner Robins. There's USDA, there's Georgia Dream. So there's a couple of options out there for you with down payment assistance programs. Also, as veterans, you also have access to your zero down for down payment assistance as well. So take a look at that. Just be mindful, you are going to pay for it somehow, maybe on the back end, maybe on the front end. You never know. All right. So in total, how much do we need to own a home? So we'll do our calculations. So 10,500 plus $1,000 for your earnest money, plus $400 for your inspection, plus another $650 for appraisal fee, plus another $300 for the builder's fee. That leaves us HOA fees as well. Forgot about that. HOA, we'll just say $400. Closing costs is going to be $0 for closing costs. If you go with a builder, we'll cover that for you. So our total is 10,500 plus 1,000 plus 400 plus 650 plus 300, a total of $12,850. And that's if you're buying a $300,000 home. Now, that's just the basic of some things that I wanted to give you so you can know how much you'll have to have in order for you to afford a home. So do you need, you can go into conventional and it starts to get more complicated. But for this purpose, we're just going to do basic FHA, 3%. This is how much you pay for your home. All right. So if you found this helpful, if you want more information, hit the subscribe, comment down below. And if you want a free 30-minute consultation, click on the link down below and we'll do a consultation so I can help you walk through this process. All right. Thank you so much. Have an outstanding day.